I want everyone to hit a little nose latte in celebration of Conor McGregor's return.
Notorious.
Versus Max Holloway. That's tough for me. I want to see Conor win, but I hate seeing Max lose. Max just fought. He's coming off a fight. BMF title over Charles Oliveira. Got taken down. That's a lot of talk. Is Conor McGregor going to try to wrestle against Max Holloway? Absolutely not. 0% chance. His game plan is to go in there and wrestle. And that's my...
5 years away doing everything. To come back and say, like, yeah, no, I want to test myself. I want to even fight again. But I want to fight someone like Max. What do you think it says about him and his hunger still?
It says everything about him. I mean, when you think about it, throughout the history of fighting, tell me somebody who came back after this big of a layoff. I mean, Ali took 3 years, and he wasn't the same when he came back. And I think that these are the kind of challenges that a guy like McGregor likes. If he wins on Saturday night, he will do something that nobody has ever done in any combat sport after such a layoff.
I look at the... When I think...
Excuse me?
Tell me I've got the wrong assumption. I feel your way to win is within 5 to 7 minutes.
I can destroy Max inside 10 seconds. I have knockouts inside 3 seconds on my fighting record. I have Hall of Fame fighters, multiples, Hall of Fame UFC fighters, defeated and destroyed, both together in under a minute. And I can add Max to that. However, don't get it twisted. If we go into these deep waters, Max is going to be in a lot of trouble, badly concussed.
What happened the first time? What happened the first time?
What happened the first time?
Yeah.
You were left in a wheelchair.
You shot.
That's what happened the first time.
You shot.
Once you go back, you don't go back.
You said fights don't even count if you don't knock people out.
You left the arena in Boston. Wheelchair bound.
We are 0-0.
I wheelchaired bum ass out of that octagon.
We are 0-0 to your line, brother.
Got that aggressive, angry, high-T energy that he's going to need if he's going to go out there and catch Holloway in the first 2 rounds of this fight. And he's a big dude, man. He's a lot larger than we've seen him before. You know, he looks really muscled up. So he's got that window in the first round to make something happen. But yeah, I mean, they went on a little bit back and forth. Paddy Pimblett had the crowd chanting a little bit as well. The media members. Oh my God, the media members. They do everything they possibly can to ruin these press conferences. He will do soon.
Yeah, if you could pick the result of the fight, what would you want to happen?
A McGregor destructive first round KO where we're seeing what does happen if he fights Makhachev? What does happen if he takes on Oliveira or Ilia Topuria? That's kind of the best case scenario from this, is that we can go into discussions about him legitimately competing at the top again. What do I think is going to happen?
No.
I don't think he's going to score a first round KO. And if he doesn't score a first round KO, I think Holloway's going to piece him up and finish him in round 3 or 4. And Holloway's going to be back on top. And, you know, BMF belt conversations, him Gaethje, him Topuria rematch. There's going to be all kinds of discussions.
Yeah, I mean, like, Conor is so composed. And when he looks at this fight with Max Holloway, they're like, okay, Max isn't going to wrestle me. He's not going to chop my sticks. He's not going to kick my legs. He's not a crazy hard puncher. So he probably looks at this fight like this is, and I know his team was asking for 3 rounds. They ended up saying, hey, no, it's got to be 5 rounds. But God, I'm trying to see a world where Max actually finishes Conor without Conor like hurting himself or something or rolling his ankle. But it's not like Max is like a big power puncher. How do you think he could finish him? You think Conor would just literally pucker out and fold?
That's what I say.
Yeah, that's what I do think. I think McGregor isn't a...
beats Max. How do we get there? We just hope. I hear the term, and I've heard the term since 1993. I swear to goodness, it's one of the reasons I've made more money than any other fighter in announcing. I swear to goodness. Is because I don't ever say there's a puncher's chance. And I don't just mean that I don't use the word. I don't say stupid. Like, that's a kind of guy. It is a common person. That is a very common phrase to use. I swear to God, I've had so many people ask me, how'd you get into broadcast? I know I'm making myself sound like a jerk right now, but I'm telling you a true story. I swear it's somewhere along the lines that I would never say he has a puncher's chance. And you want to know why I would never say that? There is no such thing. And that isn't literal. but goddamn, it's close. Who do you want to say had a puncher's chance? What do you want to do? You could bring in Ray Mercer versus Tim Sylvia. You could. You could talk about Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. I think that you'd be appropriate to talk about Foreman and Moore. Oh, and by the way, if you're a big fight expert, you could probably add another couple to the list, but fighting's the world's oldest sport, not to mention it goes on every single Saturday. And I had a hard time coming up with 5. So, is that what you hang your hat on? Of how...
With only hours remaining before UFC 329 explodes, MMA's biggest voices are revealing their final predictions for Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Joe Rogan, Dana White, Michael Bisping, Daniel Cormier, Chael Sonnen, Sean O'Malley.
5 years where Conor's been away. Max Holloway has been fighting the very best talent that is available. The best fighters in the world. And oftentimes beating them. Like, for example, his last fight, or his last victory, should I say, was against Dustin Poirier. The man that beat Conor not once, but twice in a row. Yes, for the BMF, he lost his BMF belt, which he took off Dustin Poirier, but he lost that to Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira took him down, okay? As simple as that. Took him down, took his back, right? Tried to choke him out. No shame in that. But Conor McGregor isn't going to do that. He hasn't got that kind of style.
You know, how does Max Holloway feel at 170? He shouldn't have to cut any weight. He should be able to walk in as natural as possible. His body shouldn't have to go through a massive weight cut to make 155, near damn 145. Neither does Conor McGregor. So I'm not really concerned about it being at 170. I think it's just, you know, these guys are fighting their natural weight. But with all that being said, I'm going to have to go with the blessed one, Max Holloway. He's just been active, even though it's been ups and downs. I like the athlete who's been active. I think this matchup is great. Even though Conor McGregor beat him the very first time when they fought years, moons ago, I think Max Holloway is ready for this fight. I think he's excited for this fight because I'm sure when you fight Conor McGregor, even if it's Paramount Plus, I'm sure it's red panty night for Max Holloway.
As the debate grows even louder, former champion Michael Bisping highlights one enormous advantage working in Holloway's favor: activity. While McGregor has spent 5 years away from competition, Max has continued battling and defeating some of the toughest names in the sport while gaining priceless experience against elite opposition. Demetrius Johnson shares a similar opinion, arguing that although both men will compete at their natural weight, Holloway's consistency and recent activity make him the safer choice to leave UFC 329 victorious. But not everyone embraces that skepticism. Another UFC champion views McGregor's long-awaited
comeback after 5 years off after breaking his leg, walks back into the sport at the highest level, and defeat Max Holloway by first or second round KO? Are we in a fucking fairy tale? Are we in dreamland? Surely there's no way that fucking happens. That would be shocking to me. After all that he's done in the 5 years off, this guy ain't been in the gym every fucking day. He's not been hustling to improve himself and just... If Yuri dipped for 5 years, I'd be fucking terrified for his next opponent. Because I know that dude's sitting in a dark room and training in the fucking woods for 5 straight years, developing this fucking game. I'd be shitting bricks for his next opponent. Conor McGregor, sailing around the world, this business, that business, this allegation, that allegation, this court case, that court case, this drama, that one. This headline, that headline. This picture of him hanging a weight off of his dick. That picture of a weight hanging off of his dick. I don't know if McGregor's getting this one done.
I've never ever made a secret of it. I'm a massive Conor fan, but I'm also a massive Max fan. You know, Conor started coming up when I was just starting out my pro career. His UFC run started. So he was a guy that I genuinely looked up to as I progressed in the sport. Imagine this. Imagine Conor beating Max Holloway and getting that title shot.
I think if there's one guy who can rip up the script, it's Conor McGregor.
As he's done so many times. Yeah. I'm going with the Mac. I'm never going against it. I'm never going against Conor. Yeah. Okay. No matter against, like, Max Holloway, massive fan, love him. He's a great fighter, and you know he's a deserving of everything that he's gotten and all the praise. But I can't go against Conor.
Where do you think Conor could win the fight?
You know, Conor has that scary timing. He has that scary timing. Everybody that's fought him says that. Yeah. That timing, and he has that sneaky power. Everybody that fights him says when he hits you, you feel it. Yeah. You know, it just takes one. It just takes one. Ilya knocked out Max.
While another MMA expert questions whether McGregor can overcome 5 years away from elite competition, UFC middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis believes McGregor remains one of the sport's most dangerous fighters, pointing to his elite timing, precision, and fight-changing power. According to Du Plessis, all it takes is one perfectly timed left hand to change everything, making McGregor incredibly dangerous throughout his long-awaited return.
I'm a little tight that everyone feels the way that they feel about Conor. I'm a little tight about it. Not giving him a shot. Everyone's saying this, this. I'm a little, yeah. He took 5 years off, but I'm a little tight about that. I don't understand why everyone's just like, oh, this man ain't nothing. Nah, he is something. I would have liked this to be a 3-rounder for him coming back and not a 5-rounder. I would have loved a 3-rounder, but.
You're right. You're right. You're fucking right. I didn't even think about that. You're so right, dude.
Because I think a 3-rounder for Conor, I think he's sharp enough to convince. Like, Henry, we know because we've been there. We know that championship rounds, a lot changes. When you get to that third one, you're like, oh, I'm done. Nope, you got 2 more. That's when the thoughts start to waver. That's real championship rounds where you got to really dig here. And for 3 rounds, I think Conor, yes, he's sharp enough and he's powerful enough in his mind that he could will himself through those 3. It's those extra 2 that really separate the men from the boys. So, man, I'm excited, but I just didn't like the way that everyone's counting him out here. I didn't like that. And listen, I love Max. I'm a big Max fan. But
as fight night draws even closer, another former UFC champion says the conversation surrounding Conor McGregor has become unbelievably one-sided. While countless experts continue backing Max Holloway, Kamaru Usman insists people are ignoring what has always made McGregor incredibly dangerous. He admits the 5-round format creates serious concerns but believes completely counting McGregor out could become a massive mistake, especially considering the explosive power and confidence he still carries into one of the year's biggest fights. Despite all the doubts surrounding McGregor, Max Holloway refuses to overlook his longtime rival before UFC 329.
I'm going to make him wish that he didn't come back. Actually, no, I'm not going to make him wish that. I'm going to make him think that he can do it one more time so we can rematch at the end of the year.
Max, down here to your left, dead here to your left too. You can't see me. Anyway, I feel like the consensus among most MMA fans, given Conor's layoff, is that you should walk right through him, particularly with your volume heavy style. How is it competing with the pressure of being the one who should come out with the victory?
I mean, that's crazy talk, right? A lot of people, a lot of fans is counting Conor out, which is crazy. I mean, a lot of people count Justin Gaethje out. I mean, this is different. Situations, right? But this guy has unlimited money. You know what I mean? He has a lot of connections. He's coming back from a crazy injury. He supposedly found God. His kids is going to be here at the fights. I saw Tim Grover in a picture with him. I don't know if that's the coach now, but he's doing all the right things. You know what I mean? So I'm getting ready for the most dangerous Conor McGregor we ever saw. And nobody's telling me otherwise, because once you start overlooking people, things don't go too well for you. I feel good. Strength, cardio, movement, everything that you said. I feel great. I know you guys have been following me on media and seeing what I've been doing. We bring in the former 170 champion Jack Della. Had great looks, had great training. We was only supposed to train together for a week. We loved it so much. He ended up staying for a second week, and I think so. Bringing him in was huge. You know, it was good fun, and we'll get to find out Saturday night. It's gonna be fun.
It is what it is.
Not want to be anywhere inside that octagon with me. I am dangerous everywhere.
You know, I know he's planning on deep waters.
Max Holloway's latest comments reveal a level of respect many fans may have completely overlooked. Instead of focusing on McGregor's 5-year absence, Holloway insists he is preparing for the most dangerous version of the former 2-division champion. He believes underestimating a fighter with McGregor's experience, confidence, and proven ability to deliver under the brightest lights would be a massive mistake. At the same time, Holloway remains completely confident in his own preparation, highlighting an intense training camp and elite sparring partners. As UFC 329 rapidly
surrounding McGregor won't be answered until the fight moves
That's
beyond
what really
the
opening
opening
round.
round.
We'll know.
We'll know immediately
at that point. But I mean, whether or not he can really fight for 5 rounds. Like
I
against a
don't
guy
know
with
if he can, man.
with a great gas tank.
Yeah.
Max says
After 5 years of tearing your body up,
it's you don't know, right? Because it's all in a vacuum. Like there's some training footage of him beating guys up that you've seen, but who knows what he actually has been doing? We know he's been partying, but has he also been like really training? Because if he's been really training and he shocks everybody because he's still got his skills.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, if he somehow or another sparks out Max in like the first round, do you know how big he becomes?
he's right back.
Right back.
Oh,
Right back.
right back.
I mean,
like,
he's
right back. Him
yeah.
and Justin Gaethje, the
That
biggest
would
fight in the
be
history of the known
sick.
universe.
That would be sick.
They go for the BMF title at 170.
Right.
Connor's like, I don't want to cut any weight.
Right.
That fight would be. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Look, I hope he looks great. I hope it's a good fight. But it's a tall order to take on Max Holloway after he was just the BMF champion. He beat Dustin Poirier. Yeah, he lost to Ilya. But, like, you look at the wins that guy's had in his career and how he's looked since their first fight. This is a totally different human being.
Yeah.
This is a world champion, like one of the all-time featherweight greats.
I think if Conor don't knock him out early, he's in for a long night.
Yeah.
Max can fight with no weight cut.
That's what I'm saying.
Max
Like,
might never get tired.
People are saying, like,
But with Conor and Max, one guy, even in his prime, Conor's always shown signs that his endurance was never the best.
Yep.
I'd say.
He's a sprinter.
And Max is man, he's the guy in the last round. He's winning a fight.
Max is
30
still
seconds.
sprinting.
He's pointing to he's fresh.
Fresh
his
as a
fifth
daisy.
round is as good as his first round.
Max's discipline is beyond compare. Like, that motherfucker trains hard. You might train just as hard, but there ain't harder. There ain't harder.
The craziest one was when he put it on Calvin Cater, and he was
he was
just
there.
talking
Yeah, we
shit
was there. We was
I'm
there.
the best
to him
boxer in the
whole
UFC.
time. It was so
I
crazy.
was watching that cage side, and I see him looking away, talking, and hitting him was just something.
Bro, how
I'll never
about
forget.
Brian Ortega when he was fighting him, showing him how to keep his hands
Oh, yeah,
up?
he's
to
like,
throw
"Oh,
punches?
he's like,
Jesus.
He grabs his hand and puts it by his head. No, do like this. So you can block it, and then pops him with a jab again. Bro, Max Holloway's a bad motherfucker, dude.
100%.
And, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Look, Conor in his prime was elite.
Joe Rogan's breakdown focuses on the one factor that could completely decide this entire fight: time. According to Rogan, McGregor remains one of the most dangerous finishers in MMA history, capable of changing everything with one devastating punch during the opening minutes. However, he believes the real challenge begins once the fight reaches the second and third rounds, where Holloway's relentless pressure and legendary cardio become overwhelming advantages. Rogan points out that nobody truly knows how
Yeah, I've analysed this boy very meticulously, very deeply, and I'm fully prepared. I'm excited to maneuver my way through him. That's it. I have loads of tells. I see loads of tells. Loads of openings. And also, I'll stand in there with this boy. I'll stand in there with this boy and let go. So, I'm confident all across the board.
Conor McGregor insists this comeback has been built on preparation, never hope. He believes he has discovered crucial openings that everyone else has completely overlooked. McGregor says his confidence comes from timing, experience, and fight IQ, remaining convinced his preparation will prove every doubter wrong on fight night. While McGregor stays completely confident, Max Holloway has one simple message before they finally collide inside the octagon. Max Holloway has no interest in exchanging endless words before UFC 329. Instead, the former featherweight champion believes every real answer will arrive once the cage door finally closes. Holloway welcomes McGregor's confidence and psychological games, but makes it absolutely clear that none of them will matter when they stand face to face on fight night. Conor McGregor made one thing absolutely clear about how he expects this fight to unfold. The former champion confidently claimed he can finish Max Holloway within seconds, pointing to his history of devastating knockouts against elite opponents. At the same time, McGregor rejected the idea that Holloway would own the later rounds, insisting